Hey there team, welcome to a little 3v3. This is... oh, have I gone through this? No, surely not. Little 3v3 siege by the looks of things. No, I've definitely not seen this. I actually don't recognise this map, goodness me. Let's see. Have I ever been here before? I definitely don't think I've been here. I don't think I've gone through this map either. This is another one from Thanatos here, so this was another, oh gosh, 6 months ago. I think he sent this one over. At least that, actually. Goodness me, more than that. Maybe July, I think this one came in. So again, very appreciated. And I will always, if you send me something, I will get to it. It just might take me a very, very long time. Anyway, he's got his Isengard forces here. He's playing as an evil faction. I'm pretty sure he was Mordor. What's his ally there? Sorry. Isengard is in the middle. To his left side, he's got Angmar and then Mordor. So yeah, very orky today. First guy is the Flame of Arnor here. He has a very beefed up armoured front line here with the armour upgraded Witch Realm Pikes. Guardians of Carndom, again, that heavy black armour. Gundabad Guard there, seeing a lot of dwarven armour mixed in amongst them, so of course a lot of that salvaged gear is a sign that they have been upgraded as well. And over here, there's some hiding orc fellers, so certainly quite lightly armoured. Those boys, the Witch Realm Blackguard, and some pikemen in the back with a few marauders just to beef out the numbers. But certainly not a very large army there from the Flame of Arnor. I'm wondering, we do have Barrow-wights to pad out the numbers too, and as I say, those orc fellers, some Snaga archers we're seeing, but still, this is a 3v3, you know, yeah, we don't have as much money to play with. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for him. His first ally here is second ally, Thanatos' second ally, is CB Craft. He's got his guards of Orthanc, so yeah, I mean, well, you can back up your armour as much as you want. You're not beating the Orthanc plate, or much of the Isengard, Uruk-hai forces anyway. Uruk-hai infantry and pikes there together, some Snaga skirms. They do have some of those more oh no, those are the archers. I thought those were just Uruk-hai raiders there. Some berserkers, of course the trolls on the way hand, some of the most heavily armoured trolls. Some crossbows and some infantry. And again, not massive numbers. Again, we've got some hiding Snaga, but I am hoping that our boy Thanatos is maybe going to pack on the numbers a little bit with his Mordor just to make up for his more elite allies today. He's got his Uruk infantry there. Yep, well, certainly does pack up the numbers. Some Orc Javies, some Shadow Bows there, the Morgul's Chosen, double Sauron's Well, with more Shadow Bows on the inside. That is probably a good idea. Of course, not body piercing Rangers, but very high damage. Then Orc Maulers, again, nice to see the armor, well, nice to see the numbers just coming out. I'm hoping we're seeing some Orc fodder too. Maulers, more infantry, lots more infantry, or halberds, archers, and Uruk-hai. Well, actually, to be honest, on defense, you probably, you might not have the space for it, but, halberds, executioners, temple guard, and Uruk halberds. Interesting. It's something that we've seen a lot more of recently are these, like, 3v3 sieges. The fearsome ballista is in the back here too. I didn't spot that before. As I say, it used to be very, very rare to see that, but nowadays we do see it an awful lot more. So I'm going to be, as again, slightly different setup than what I, of course, have had in the past. I've still not really been able to get a proper stand-up situation going on, which is a right shame because I do like standing up. I'm sort of jerking around a lot on my chair here, trying to sort of get up and out, but so hopefully, you know, I might move away from the mic a little bit, but hopefully it won't be too bad. I think it looks to be maybe Rohan or Cardlin or Mirkwood as one of the attackers, and then Gondor, I believe Gondor is white, and then on the far side there, maybe Rudour, I believe, but yeah, I could not say, maybe Dunland, I really don't know though. Come on, guys, because there's probably going to be a good grace period here, I'm expecting. So we are at 2x speed. There should be a little timestamp in the description. Good. To just sort of jump straight to the action. I'll stick to 0.5 speed for now, just in case we do end up seeing some action jumped in right away. We've got Panthan here, playing as Rohan. Again, Panthan, of course, well known for the Silmarillion shenanigans largely. That's why I see him a lot more in. But I know I had been seeing him pop up a good bit on 3rd Age as well. Eastmark spears there on the far side. Armor upgraded for them too. Some cavalry, some skirms, 2 units of Riddermark skirms, and the Red Shields of Erkenbrand. That's certainly not a bad idea. I think that's about as much cavalry as I'd want to see though. And I think that is as much cavalry as he's got, so that's good. Helmingus there, behind the Westmark infantry, then Westmark marshals, of course, fearsome Helm's hammers. Shield maidens cannot, you definitely don't want to do a siege without the shield maidens, and Riddermark axemen in the back. So no, that's really nice. His next ally is Gondor, so that is Google Bobble. Never seen that name before. Some nice, well-armoured, Gondorian infantry. I'm really chuffed to see that. Some Gondorian archers with that max level of armour upgrade to really sort of give them that old marksman of Cairandros model. So really, those guys can take a pound even without a shield. They can be exceptional skirmish archers. Behind them, some Citadel Guard, good for that AP, of course, and the javelins that they've got. And then more AP from this heavily armoured Axemen Losanak and the Veterans of Osgiliath. Again, max armour. Is this where we've got the general in today? That's where I tend to put my general. And that is our man there. Yeah, so that's good to see. Trebuchet, fantastic. Let's not let it get sniped by the Ballista. Nimlothian Honor Guard, Guards of Osgiliath, and Gondor Spears, with the Vanguard of King Elisar taken as well. And no general with the Vanguard of King Elisar, so they can sort of be sent in a little bit more freely, a little bit more aggressively than we would if the general was there. We do have Dale. This is who we were missing. So the River Patrol there, 2 units of River Patrol, Barding, Marksmen, Dalian Infantry with an armor upgrade actually. Yeah, you can see that. Alongside some Dalian Swordmasters, again armor upgrades. I think double armor upgrades to those Dalian Swordmasters, or at least I think that's a double. That's what they get with that. Barding Herd, some double Athala Rangers. Now I believe, one, two, yeah, that's just one guy spread out wide, one guy more thin. So that's just 2 units of Athala Rangers. Pretty sure Athala Rangers are not body piercing, just high damage archers. But again, it's good to have a cavalry unit just in case the enemy does charge out with something at you. You can sort of skirmish them down quite nicely. Royal Guard there with the general in them today. And double Lake Town pikemen. So we'll get to 1 speed here. As I say, I suspect there's going to be a lot of shuffling around before we actually get into the action properly. First things first. I really like the attacking armies. I like what we've got today. I like the individual army compositions, and I like the armies that we've chosen as well. The only thing I worry about here is this map. I don't know how effective archers are going to be on it. Now we'll see. I've never attacked here, but I don't know if we've maybe gone slightly too deep into archers, saying that Rohan's not really got too many archers. Well, we'll see. Now, how many avenues do we have? 1, 2, long way around to come all the way around here, but it is an option to get right into these back lines. But that does start to spread your forces a little bit thin. If this was a 4v3, I could see that being a lot more likely because you have that extra army to go into some additional place. But it looks like the defenders are they're falling back from that initial section anyway to just hold the secondary line. But right, so let me just count for a second. So we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. Oh, no, just 3. 4. And then it looks to be that the boys are going to fall back. So I'm going to say 5 and maybe even 6. Now, somebody is hopefully going to come out and help Rohan. Now, I love Rohan in sieges. I think that they have got all the tools that you need for a siege, both in defense and offense. You can kind of treat them as like a Rudour with a little bit of armor, in a way. Maybe not quite as aggressive, but you certainly do have the necessary tools to do a lot of damage in a siege. But I would want to see one of his allies sending a few troops, which it looks like we are good. Gondor is sending just some armor. That's just great to see. Just a little bit of armor, just to take a little bit of pounding, especially something like a Gondorian infantry unit. You don't have to pay much attention to them. You can just send them into the fight and just let them grind away. And they'll just, yeah, they'll do that. They'll just wear the enemy down with that heavy armor. Not, of course, not get many kills, but it just takes the strain away from Rohan a little bit. I'm going to go 2 times speed because I think we are probably going to be shuffling about for a little bit. Again, Thanatos probably has sent me a more detailed bit of information, but he did send this a long time ago, and I've not gone back to read it. So he has probably told me sort of what frames everything generally does kick off. That's definitely not a requirement. I kind of, I enjoy rambling away, but just so you've got an idea. Thaler range, yeah, am I worried about the amount of arrows? We'll see how the attackers use it. If the attackers are patient, I mean, we got 37,000 frames, but we were almost at, I think we're probably going to be at 10,000 frames before the fighting really kicks off. So I do worry that, the longer this fight goes on, the better I think it's going to be for the attackers, because that means the more time they've spent to use their ammunition. And we'll see those barrow wights. Of course, barrow wights nowadays, they no longer are just like incredibly armored. They now have this exceptional shield value. So say like shooting them in the back is maybe viable nowadays. If you do get moments like this, say with the Athala Rangers, you might even be tempted to rush over and shoot them in the back. Now, of course, I think we're still in a grace period right now, so it's not, that would not really be a fair move. Now, the trebuchet, don't quote me on this, but I'm like 90% sure the trebuchet can outrange the ballista. And with that arc, over here, but the thing is, I think over here he's in range of that ballista. And that ballista, if he's in range of that ballista's going to take out his treb, definitely. Yeah, like I'd be fine with that. If they're in range of each other, the ballista can take out the treb. But I think the treb is pretty damn accurate, and the treb should be able to deal with the ballista quite quickly if it can shoot and not be shot. So, as for the defenders, what we got here? Thanatos is going to be holding quite a few of the avenues himself over here. He's got 3 of them on his lonesome. But he does have, he's got a lot more numbers than his allies. Again, who have gone a bit more elite. I'll be interested to see the actual numbers of troops deployed at the end of this, of course. But I think this is really going to be you do arguably need to be a bit more elite if you're dealing with sort of the solid forces of the Western Kingdoms of Men. I know Dale is about as east as you get, but I do still tend to count them in the Western Kingdoms. I'm just going to be taking a quick little gulp here. Of course, generally, if I do ever go silent for a few seconds, it's usually me either just taking a sip from a drink or, usually a tea or something, but I am finished knocking off a little bottle of Prosecco here. Yeah, just gone through the bottle, but it's tough for me to get awfully bev nowadays. It's something I have to work at. The Royal Guard are up front right now, which is very bold with the... Okay, good. We're definitely in a grace. Let's jump to 6 times speed for a quick second. As we shuffle around. I think this is probably going to be where the shooting begins. No, they're pulling back. Yeah, right, okay, let's stay at 2 times speed for a minute. Because, of course, we don't want those... Oh, this is muffins, of course. Okay, good. So this is certainly a... okay, no, we're beginning. The Uruk Uruk archers are opening up into the Dalian Royal Guard. Now, of course, the Dalian Royal Guard, they're very well armoured. And they do have a shield, so they can skirmish really well. I mean, that's something that Dale is exceptional at. Not only do they have great archers, just about all of their archers have got a shield on their back as well. So they're fantastic for this sort of skirmish engagement. Now, Muffins might just be happy enough just giving a few little volleys, just so that... okay, no. Just a quick little exchange there. Attackers will usually be able to be just far more free with their resources than defenders are. Ithilien Rangers opening up. Don't know about that. I'd maybe... Okay, okay, no, we're going. And perfect. Right into the pikemen. Fantastic. I'd want some better accuracy from my Rangers, to be honest. I'd probably get the fire ammunition turned off myself. But I like it. I like it a lot. I don't think fire ammunition doesn't lower accuracy or anything like that. Some spearmen coming forward. Now, of course, I'm sure Panthan's a little bit, he's probably kicking himself a little bit that the defenders have, you know, they've got no cavalry today. But at the end of the day, he's not made a silly investment into his cavalry, and though everything that he's brought can still be effective, those Riddermark skirms can still come in nice and close, volley their javelins, even volley javelins over their friendly lines. So I think he's made a decent shout with them. You know, he's not grabbed anything too silly. That's why, of course, I love to take the Coldfell Maidens when I'm on the attack as playing as Rude Hour. Because worst case scenario, let me just grab there we go. That's the key I'm looking for. Nice. Okay, missed a few. Of course, with this temporary setup, I've got my laptop to my left side. So it's a little. So I've been forgetting to take thumbnails, or forgetting to take screenshots, because I've got to keep remembering to look over at my laptop, because I'm sort of running out of USB slots. Interesting. Now, of course, if you could get a volley right into those Westmark Marshals, I'd be loving life. Let me just go to 0.8 for a quick second, 0.7, just to make sure we're not missing anything, because I think we're about to start off now. Okay, cool. We're staring down there. We're not moving up this side yet. Muffins probably will, though. But I love Panthan's boldness here. But the thing is, if I was him, I would definitely want my slightly more armoured up allies to start the fight. You know, you want to treat yourself. Oh wow, Barrow-wights getting knocked around. Those aren't Barrow-wights that are dead. Those are Gundabad Guard that are dead. They're Eastmark Spears. Is that all Eastmark Spears doing that damage? Good stuff. I mean, again, if these javelins are coming into the backs of the Barrow-wights, that's kind of cool. Of course, we really don't want to be throwing into the front of a Barrow-wight, but if we get a volley into the back, and these are Eastmark Spears, that's really quite a low damage javelin, but even a low damage javelin is still AP. So it looks like Panthan, yeah, maybe he's still got a quick little volley. And he might just be happy enough, just because he needs to get these guys in melee at some point. But those Barrow-wights have not taken a single loss. Now, this is something I'm really just not good at right now, is just how to counter the new Barrow-wights. It used to be a case of, you would just send in a decent, a good mid-tier AP melee unit. And that got rid of them. They would grind them down. Whereas now it's just different. Over here, Dalian infantry leading the way. They'll gut the Uruk infantry. They don't want to be taking too much damage from those Javi boys, but if somebody's going to take the beating, it might as well be them. It's always a bit shit to be, sacrificing your men, but this is quite a nice fight. And as defenders, I'd be a little bit worried. Now, of course, I'm a much better attacker than I am a defender. I'll always say that. My defending skill is definitely very lacking. So I think that can't take my advice too much with that. That's fantastic. I love that, shooting into their right side like that. Of course, if you were a defender, oh wow, okay, bold there, Muffins. I like it a lot. But I'm really worried that this unit is now surrounded. We've sort of taken that ground. We're going to slice and dice our way through some troll drummers, which is a cool start to this fight. Gardens of Carndum from Flame of Arnor. Nice to see that this is going to be very tough to deal with, though. Barding Herd are there, though. Holy smokes. This is really getting started quite quickly, which usually, I said at the start, I thought the attackers should take their time, but they've been given a bit of a gift here, and it's awesome to see that Muffins is kind of grabbing it, but I'm just so scared that this unit, of course, the Olokai have been sent on in there. The Olokai are going to really do a lot of damage to these Dalian infantry without taking too much in response from it. The Maulers are being sent on. The Maulers will die quite nicely with the Dalian infantry. As long as Muffins doesn't get these guys shattered or, broken too quickly, I think he'll do some great work there. And all the while, Dalian Paladins coming in really nice and early. That's really awesome to see from Muffins. But we just need to know. I was talking about Panthan maybe just slowing his butt down, but now, yeah, maybe it's a different story. Guards of Orthanc being sent up there to answer to this. javelins again, AP javelins into these guys. Great shield value on the Guards of War, I think. But if we're going to deal with them, we need to deal with them with AP. And it's either the front or the left side, and both of that, because of course you'd be throwing from here. So the left side, you're still going to be getting into that shield. So, oh, okay, interesting moves. Still javelins in hands here from Panthan. Barrow-wights laying in wait. Spooky thing with that, of course, is when these guys pop up from being hidden, that causes this immediate morale hit. People do not like... Oh, okay, Eastmark spears have been coming across this line. We are actually engaging. Westmark spearmen have rushed over here, engaging the Uruk-hai crossbows. Uruk-hai crossbows are certainly not bad in melee. Well, you know, yeah, they're resistant in melee. Javelins there... Dude, especially if we could avoid that shield value, that'd be amazing. It's Eastmark spears, yeah. Westmark spears holding there for now. Hopefully not going to break. If they fight to their last man, that'd be really nice. But yeah, I say they're either going to hit the left side or they're going to hit their face. So bit of a shame. Ballista pulled back there. You see the ballista's been moved away because it knows that Treb's kind of got its number. Skirm's being brought on back right now. Don't quite know where that Treb's been moved to at the minute. Looks like Google is getting stuck in now. Dale is absolutely in it now though, which I really like, but we need to see the same aggression from everybody else now, because you can see so much of Flame of Arnor's power, so many of these exceptionally, very, very strong Uruks from the Gardens of Carn Dûm, well, from Carn Dûm, have been sent on forward here. So Muffins is, I mean, he's doing a damn great job here, and pouring shots in just to try and help his lines out. To be honest, if I was Gondor, if I had a unit to spare, I'd shove it up here as well. If I wasn't feeling so confident about, well, I mean, that's really the only way. Oh no, he can. He is coming up here. Fantastic, good stuff from Google. You see Thantos not wanting to see the same thing happen as across the way. He does not want an immediate break through the lines, but these Gondorian infantry, max armor upgrades, maybe even a melee upgrade, you never know. They will slice their way through these Uruk infantry, not very quickly, but efficiently. More goals chosen, that's going to change the game a little bit. That's going to take them an awful lot longer, and probably not something they're going to be able to do alone. See here, Panthan's pulled back, not happy to engage just yet. A lot of dead Guards of Orthanc here. A few dead marshals by the looks of things. But the Guards of Orthanc standing by up there is not going to be easily budged out. Westmark spears coming forward there. Right now not loving their life up against the Uruk-hai infantry, but that should change soon. The Barrow-wights have not been sent into that fight yet though. Let's just have a quick look over here, and I will hover over something just to give us a good view of a battle for a minute. See over here, Eastmark spears, that looks to be... Now they pulled out their spears now, yeah. Uruk-hai infantry coming forward. The Uruk-hai infantry should enjoy this fight, even with an armor upgrade. Got to keep in mind, the Eastmark spears, they're just militia. Let me just grab a quick thumbnail again. That's good to see. Yeah, see, I've got to like lean over and find the key on my keyboard over there. Panthan's pulled these guys back. Wants to use all of this Eastmark spear javelin fire before he really engages. It looks like another fresh unit, or is that the same? No, it's the same unit. They're just kind of moving like as these two chunks. Interesting. Shield mains are Rohan. Great little throwing axes. But of course, probably a bit upset at how much armor is on display here from the defenders. Unfortunately, the Eastmark spears here taking this javelin fire. Another one could be good. Boom, boom. Unfortunately, these poor guys taking that javelin fire to their right side, but they're militia at the end of the day. They're kind of meant for this. Now, this is really where I'd want to see some arrow fire. Ooh. Okay. Where the heck did that come from? That's a hell of an alley-up shot there from that trebuchet. All the way up and down like that. It's cool. I'd want to see this being held for kind of scaring the ballista, in all honesty. Like, I feel that the defenders need artillery. Attackers, it's just cool. You know, it's a nice bonus, but a defender needs their artillery. So if you can kind of use your artillery just to scare off the defender's artillery, that's a good use for it. Google's pulling back here. Now, if I was Google, I'd want to be getting... oh, I see. This is why he's pulled back. He's want to get a javelin. Oh, my God. Thandos is maybe focused on something else. Can we get a close-range volley? Right into the Olokai. Bang, 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 bang. I don't know if that must have gone into the Olokai. At that range, that must have been absolutely devastating to the Olokai. And these Citadel Guard now, of course, with that AP Spear, they're going to love that engagement. And yeah, Thanatos has kind of noticed what's happened now, and he's pulling back. Maybe we can even get another volley as they run away. That would be amazing to see for the attacker's point of view. Yeah, they're pulling out their javelins. He wants to do it. Couple of interesting. Where are they going for the infantry? Like, hard to say. Hard to say. This guy managed to survive. Fair play. He was just battling at the rest of his units that are pulled back, but no, he just... no, don't die! Oh god, that'd be such a shame if this guy just killed him. But no, very cool. He's gonna live to fight another day. No, he wants back in. He wants to just join the Citadel Guard for round 2. Fair play. What are we at here? 19 for 20. That's... I mean, right, so attackers are dead, but attackers are kind of meant to be dead at this stage. So it's definitely quite a spooky place for the defenders. Paladins, only one paladin remaining there though. And that's something I guess to note. Of course, Dale's been using a lot of those elites. Quick little backstabbing in these maulers. We could end up getting a break here, to be honest. If that was just... even if we had, say, 5 paladins, you can see this quick jump. Muffins is trying his best to get these guys broken. Because if he can get these guys broken, he can get stuck into these javelins again. He can hold this ground. You see over here, Barding Marksman coming on in. Kind of surrounded there again. Muffin's got some really aggressive moves today, and it's been working out for him. But again, this is what you know, this is why you fight as the Western Kingdoms for an attack. You know, but you can kind of trust your guys to hold far better than an orc, even an urk can with your morale. Over here again, just trying to grab my keyboard. Nice daily. So this is a surprise. I would have thought this would be really working out well. Okay, good, it is. Just little stumble for a second there. We could use maybe a little bit more mass on the front there. I don't like the amount of dead poor horsemen there. Looks like we're maybe shot to pieces, and that's... what do we have here? Barding Herd. If we could get a unit of Barding Herd up there. Infantry. Oi, oi, oi. Like, I love what Muffins has been doing here, but he has been using his resources very quickly. And I don't think he's been wrong to do that. But I hope that was all sort of communicated with his allies. You're seeing some shield wall pushing going on from the Citadel Guard there, shunting their way into the poor Minas Morgul Chosen. Minas Morgul Chosen relying on that armor, relying on that defensive skill ability from the shield, well, from the spear, and just their overall skill. But yeah, getting shunted around by a much better quality unit. And of course the Citadel Guard just being present in there is kind of scare Thanatos from sending. Usually the Olokai are a great little just panic unit, just send it in when you're in a little bit of trouble somewhere. But and it looks like that's what he's going to do here, is going to send it in. But the few units of Citadel Guard there, whenever they get a stab, that's going to do an awful lot for them. Do we have the Fountain Guard? I didn't actually see the Fountain Guard. Absolutely, yeah. We didn't take the Fountain Guard today. Very interesting. I'm just a massive fan of the Fountain Guard. Always have been. Helmingus there looks to be Panthan's just coming and trying to pester this line a little bit now. Now Panthan's he does have a tough job here because he's got 3 positions to attack. Okay, and I was going to say he's basically by himself. You see Google is with him here. Axes coming flying up and over, a bit of a lob shot with those axes, which you don't really want to see as they just sort of come flying up and over, because you're going to get a little bit of friendly fire, and the friendly fire you do get is hitting your own men in the back, whereas hitting the enemy in the face. So that massive shield value from, of course, barrow wights. You can see the low mass of the barrow wights. I like the way that it makes them jerk around like that. You know, just that low mass, just sort of throwing them around the battlefield is really cool. Shield Maidens there out of ammunition. No, they've still got their axes. That's great to see. Decent enough in melee. I tend to always give them that little melee upgrade just because I like it. But they provide that little bit of a morale buff as well. Not a massive one, but every little helps when you're sort of on the attack here. But certainly not useless in melee. That's for damn sure. Archers here opening up into the main line with, I thought it was fire ammunition for a second. I believe that they can use fire ammunition, the Uruk-hai archers. Yeah, pretty sure they can. Over here, Gondorian infantry, still the handful of Citadel Guard. I'd love to see a little bit of AP on this front line. I don't think we've got another unit of Citadel Guard though. We've got the Nimlothian Honor Guard. I'd maybe throw an Axeman Lasanac in there. I say just to make sure that we've got not just the Gondorian infantry, because the Gondorian infantry, they'll hold the line for a long time, they'll wear the enemy down, they will do damage, but they're not dealing any AP. So it means that Thanatos can be so much more free with these high damage units like the Uruk-hai, and if we just had a unit of AP, it just scares them a little bit. So if I was Googled now, I'd start to send more and more of my troops over here. Yeah, just make use of both the attacking positions now, because Dale is not long for this world here. You know, Muffins has been grinding away and still kept 32 for 34, so this is still a very nice spot for the attackers. Barding Marksman with that armor upgrade, you can sort of see the face coverings there that they get, and of course I think they changed that hat, pretty damn sure. Generally, you know, all around just a bit more of a shiny appearance to them. They get certainly more than capable of dealing with a lot of mainline men arms from the Western, well, from the Orcish factions, but armor upgraded Guardians Cardoon will end them, especially when they're backed up with this AP SAM as well. Again, I love the way that the defenders are sort of mixing amongst each other like this. It's always really cool to watch, and it can usually work out very well. It does pull your attention away. There's another unit of Gondorian infantry coming forward. I would have, as I said, I really would have preferred to see a unit of AP coming forward, and maybe these guys instead going around to the other side to back up the Dalian position, or try and push through on the Dalian position. Now this is going to start really pulling the attention of the attackers around. I say Panthan's got 3, we've not even looked over at this end for a little while here. Panthan's got 3 attacking positions to deal with. Riddermark's Axemen really tearing their way through these, not Gondorian infantry, Uruk-hai infantry. That's awesome to see for the Rohan. These pikes though, that's going to be a different story entirely. But Shield Maidens, do you have a... If they've got throwing axes, then this is very good, and it kind of looks like they do. Even such a small unit as this can do a lot of damage very quickly to an unshielded Uruk-hai pikeman. Because once those Uruk-hai pikes get in melee, that's just something that Rohan really struggles to answer to if they can't throw something at you. Or break through you with a shield wall push. Medicilled Guard coming forward now. All their blades and axes, well, swords and axes out, means they have sort of used up that ammunition. But it looks like he's going to be coming in a bit aggressively here. Not too many Helm's Hammers left, only 7 of them. So they've been getting sent on into melee as well. I do love the aggression from the attackers using these elites nice and... Oi. Okay, let me take a drink here. Dear me, I'm just trying to speak too fast. For goodness sake. Oh, dearie me. Okay, that was a good place to pause anyway. And yeah, the Isengard Ballista is just starting to tear through the Axeman Lasanac largely, but again, Panthan's forces. Now again, luckily we can rely on this morale, especially a few Shield Maidens. You see them mixed in amongst this all. They'll be providing that morale buff to the Rohirrim forces, keeping them in line a little bit longer. But this is very scary. But as accurate as that Isengard Ballista is, there is a chance, especially as the attackers are doing the right thing here, the attackers are doing a bit of an aggressive push here, there's a chance of just getting a little blast of friendly fire. And that's all the attackers need to wipe this whole force clear. And yeah,
the enemy are badly bloodied.
Axemen of Sanak being pulled out of the lines. Red Shields of Erkenbrand taking fire. To be honest with me, if I was Panthan, I'd be like, oh no, please don't shoot them. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, I just don't know how much use they're going to be. I think the Axemen are who they are mainly shooting at, though. Over here, Renamark skirms. Some of them thinking they're throwing, but I don't believe they've got any more ammunition left. Guards of Orthanc over there. No, we're just standing by. Still with ammunition, the defenders. And I think the attackers are just about out. Maybe some Gondorian bows still remaining, but I don't think so. Well, I don't think much of that. Axemen of Sanak coming forward. Great to see it, great to see it. I'd say I would have loved to see it a little bit earlier. But they will smash their way into this formation quite nicely now that they're here. Over on this line, Daily and Royal Guard are forward with their bows out. Interesting. I wonder what they were trying to do over here. It's always scary though. We've got the general like sat right there, but Dale is mostly gone from this field now, so losing the general is not going to be the absolute massive heartache. Maybe for something like the Lake Town Pikes, of course, they're not going to love it. But I think this has just been a very efficient grind for Muffins here. I think he can be very, very happy with how this fight's gone for him, even with the firepower that he's been taking out, we snagga boys, and that little bit of height advantage is what you get a lot from, say, the Merc crossbows for Cardlin and whatnot. They're just sort of, carrying some, performing some massive damage here. Whereas these are ranger arrows that are coming in, no longer body piercing, as I keep saying, but just very high damage compared to a standard arrow. Not quite a crossbow bolt, but certainly something. Good. Yep, so we're seeing Google moving over here, making use of this great little shot with his archers. He's got 2 units of archers mixed in amongst. Hopefully we're not getting any up and over shots. Those Olokai cannot be long for this world. There's only 12 of them remaining. Only half of our force remains, says the Mordor announcer. 47-46, so that's the first time the defenders have actually fallen behind, which is a very scary prospect for them. But the attackers have used up a hell of a lot of ammunition. The defenders still do have a bit left. But you can see here, Google is barreling away. Yeah, he's grinding right through. Armoured up pikemen coming down now. Temple Guard, yeah, that's a lot of AP fire that we've got to be dealing with. And interesting. So it's like there's like multiple little final fallback points. Like you can get trapped over there if you're not careful. That's interesting. I do always like that. Now what could be very naughty here is if they make a hole there, sacrificing these troops that have been left behind, but it does give them a shot at just backstabbing. Don't know if that's the way, I don't know if that's what the defenders are maybe going to be planning. So we'll go on to Witchers. Witchers are always something I'll try my best to keep an eye on. If I do miss their antics though, I am very, very sorry. Over here, more firepower. Still Gondorian archers. You'd want to save a little bit of ammunition again for those Witchers. But there's the Dragon Slayers. They do still have their bows. Don't know how much ammunition, they're a bit bloodied, but hopefully they've still got some ammo. Waiting for those Witchers. That's the general drop there. Oh, actually, holy smokes. Where has that happened? Is that... Oh, Rohan has made a big push. Sorry, we missed that. Panthan has continued the aggression up here, led by the Medical Guard, going toe-to-toe with the Berserkers. I would have actually thought the Medical Guard would be alright with that fight. Not relying too much on that one. I thought they'd be handling things not too bad, but at the end of the day, they are outnumbered about 2-1 by a very, very hench Urukai. So, never a fun situation to be in. Bismarck infantry there, and we are opening fire onto these guys. So, yeah, that's great to see from the attacking point of view for sure. But somebody's got to hold this line back, and right now there's not really anybody that's in a position to do that. So yeah, Naz Higher over there, I guess he doesn't really want to show them up just yet. Runemark Axemen, they are the final guys. These marshals being pulled away, to be honest with you, I'd have maybe sent the marshals forward here if I was Panthan. I feel they could maybe, keep in mind though, he's maybe had them positioned here because this is a bridge, so to get them to cross the bridge they've got to stand there and then be told to walk right there. Panthan might have had them standing there and he ordered them to go here, and then he looked away at somewhere else. So you can, and they've just stopped moving, have they? They've just stopped moving. So yeah, this could very well have been what he tried to do. I love this little final holdout from these Uruk-hai and the Barrow-wights. Some shots really does not like that horseman. Could be the infantry he was going for, but yeah. What we at? 56 for 54. The defenders are still down, and this is past the 50% mark, which is when things really, really start to count, I feel. Some javelins there from the... But that's just little orc javies. Muffins is, again, seeing some major aggression here. Or we are performing some major aggression, which is very, very cool. Just really wanting to claim ground. But it's just a bit scary, I feel. River Patrol, we've not seen those guys pop up yet. And they do have their wee javies. And again, that's just manpower that can just can fight alongside something like the Vanguard of King Elisar, just taking hits for them. Looks to be the Barrow-wights are wanting some action up against the Royal Guard. They know they can't chase the Barding Herd, who have really overextended here. I think Muffins, again, this is probably just something about paying attention to somewhere else. If the defenders play their cards right here, they can quite quickly break this unit. Backstabbing them there. Then these Barding Herd really need to get into a bit of a natural skiltrum. Which you do see, you know, of course it's not something you can order them to do, but if you do leave pikemen to it, sometimes they will slowly just form this, and it seems like that's happened. Oh god. Okay, that's curtains. That is absolutely devastating. I didn't think that would happen. I thought they'd maybe make it down to like 50 before they broke. But I guess it was a sudden damage boost from the Temple Guard. That's 100 Barding Herd gone without really doing much damage. So I think that was really just Muffins ordered them up to chase something, paid attention to something else, and just missed their shenanigans. Unfortunately, was probably paying attention over here. He's managed to break through the lines, and again do some great work with these sword masters. These guys are very. What I'm saying that? Well, the sword masters are very tired. These infantry seem to have been kept in reserve. No pikes remaining now, though. Halberds coming on down, but the halberds are just about sort of getting surrounded. They seem that Thandros is really pushing them in there right now, which is gonna be a struggle for them. Of course, they are probably going to end up getting a little bit surrounded, maybe even catching a little break. But I mean, of course, I'd rather lose a unit of Uruk-hai halberds rather than a unit of Barding Herd. That's for dang sure. Vanguard of King Elisar coming on forward again, another very, very elite unit, which is going to be incredibly slowed by the likes of the Barrow-wights. You know, they're not going to take too much damage from the Barrow-wights, but it's going to take them a very long time to get through that. Don't think any of the Barding Herd really managed to make it out of there. Of course, if any of them did, not going to be healthy enough to really take any further role in this battle. Now you can see, what's this little green? Oh, that's funny. Okay, yeah, I was just looking at the mini-map. I was a bit confused as to what that was, but it was the Uruk-hai standing in amongst all the blackguard. That's fair. Ooh. See, my money in this fight would be on the Westmark Marshals, to be honest with you. Red Shields of Angmar trying to deal with the crossbows. But yeah, of course, great defensive skill from the Guards of Orthanc, but a massive amount of that defense comes from that armor value. Ooh, javelins right in the back from those Snagga. Right shame for the Westmark Marshals, who do go out a little bit on that shield value. I think they've got maybe a 3 or something shield value, so yeah, it definitely does help. But being javelin in the back is not gonna count for anything there. Trolls of the White Hand still standing, but Riddermark Axemen chasing them down. Great to see. Looks to be those Berserkers actually got out of that very healthy. Backed up by just looks to be the horde of Uruk-hai archers. But no, good moves, good moves. Some hiding Uruk-hai crossbows there, ready to just jump on anybody that does come charging up. Maybe these poor Riddermark Axemen as they come charging up those lines. These Riddermark Axemen trying to deal with the last of these pikes. Actually doing really, really well. And as I say, oh, I just wish we saw those marshals. Maybe that's these guys though. To be honest, that could those poor guys have gotten riddled by the Snagga. But that could very well have been them. Trebuchet here. See, if I was the ballista, I would maybe have gone for the treb. But he might not feel he's got enough ammunition to deal with the trebuchet. So he's just like, no, let's just use up the last, because he's been firing that a lot now. So he might just think, no, use up the last of it, just deal with a few more losses. And hell, maybe he'll waste some ammunition trying to deal with my ballista. Or he probably knows that he's about to lose it anyway to cavalry and so on. Good little charge there. Good move, Panther. Right into the ballista crew and a lot of dead archers there. That's a great charge, especially on such steep ground like that. Good move, good move. I'm definitely very surprised that got pulled off. Sorry, I am just like wanting to like roam around the map. I do like to sort of learn layouts a little bit. That's why you're sort of maybe seeing me take some less opportune routes at times. River Patrol here, I mean, hell, they can't win many fights, but they'll slice and dice some poor Snaga. Especially, and causing a break there would be fantastic. It's the little victories as an attacker. You know, it's any... I know these guys are not going to inflict many casualties, but if you can just deal with them in just this quick little goodbye, that's just less time spent, less energy spent, and of course a few lives saved from the likes of the River Patrol. Now it looks like these guys are going to be stubborn, and of course we needed that to break so that we could get those Thal Rangers out of ammunition, but cavalry in the late game can be quite menacing. Blackshot Dragon Slayers have appeared. They're pouring shots into... Oh wow, goodness sake. There's some wild aggression here from everybody. It's really, really cool to see. As these heavily armoured Gondorian archers have been thrown on in there. They'll fight for a long time because of that armour. Well, they maybe have been fighting for a long time. More Gondorian archers coming on forward here. That's a full unit of them. Coming in to try and support those Dragon Slayers who are just being locked on guard mode, just pouring shots into the Temple Guard. Sauron's Well coming in. Sauron's Well will happily kill through the Gondorian archers, but you know, probably actually take some losses, to be honest. Muffins, I think all that Muffins really has left is some River Patrol and those Royal Guard. I'm just having a quick little look around, see if there's anything hiding for him. Another unit of Barding Herd. Okay, fantastic. Good. What are we at here? 70 for 71 now. Can't really trust the balance of power. You can't trust the balance of power because of the Barrow Whites. So I wouldn't think too much about that right now if you're watching. The Barrow Whites, of course, because all the oh wow, oh of course they've run down here. Pelgar Marines coming in to sort this out, but they're going to take out Vault. They're outnumbered, and as I say, the crossbowmen are not bad in melee. Some axemen slicing down the last of the Barrow Whites. Some Trolls of the White Hand still fighting, but the Trolls of the White Hand will be eviscerated by the remaining marshals there. Especially so spread out like that. Some crossbowmen holding line. I think he's done his best here. He's come in from a lot of avenues. He was given some good support from Gondor, of course, but I think he'd be pretty happy. Let's go to 1x speed now. I think we're okay. We're sort of on top of where the main fighting is, although I have missed some really cool plays. Some really cool aggression, of course, from those Gondorian archers that I missed. I am sorry about that. Of course, anybody that was, well, this battle was about 6 months ago. If anybody that was in this battle that does remember a big moment, always feel free to sort of throw that my way. I always do appreciate knowing sort of what I missed. Over here, Pikeman, again. You never want to see this defeat even defeat is almost certain. You never want to see defeat as certain.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Veterans of Osgiliath there, not anything fancy with their arrow. It's certainly not a bad arrow, but that heavy armor and that shield value, those guys are going to be able to tank so much of this arrow fire that's coming their way. Witches of Angmar, 12. We're seeing them getting knocked around by, I'm thinking, the Blackshot Dragon Slayers, but of course the veterans as well. If you see these guys, you're tagging them, pinging them as much as you possibly can. The Blackshots are going for them. The veterans are hopefully going for them too. I'm surprised that they've taken quite a few hits there. There's 9 of them left. Still not, veterans have been going for them. You can see the Temple Guard are coming in to try and sort of take a bit of fire in exchange for them. If we can deal with these guys before they use up their ammunition, wowee, that will put the defenders in a... this poor Guardian of Garndom, he just tanked that shot for the Witcher. I think the amount of hits we were seeing those Witchers taking, I think they got very lucky there that they didn't go down. That's some good counters to them that got... But all of that guard mode fire, you can see these guys were not fighting back as the Ologhai were smashing them to pieces. So that's... oh, saying that, still most of the unit is over here, to be honest. But that's a lot of guys that went down. Maybe must have been firepower. This couldn't have all been just the Ologhai. Interesting to see them still surviving, though. This area has just been fought back and forth and back and forth. I really do like that. It's super cool to see that. You know, we're so used to in sieges nowadays just seeing like the front line get developed and not really shift until the last like 10%. So it's really cool to see this like push and pull happening from this fight. I do like that a lot. Over here at the Lothian Orcish, ooh, kind of struggling. Must have just been temporary though, because there's nothing here. I mean, the pikemen, but I don't see what is up here that's really hurting them. Interesting. Okay, they're fine now, but yeah, they were not liking that for a minute. Temple Executioners with that armor upgrade, they will not be easy to best, especially with the Vanguard of King Elisar. Used up a lot of their power so far. River Patrol there. Oh, we want these guys turned around. We do want them shielded. At the end of the day, if I was Muffins, if I could have them shoot the front of my men, I'd be okay with that. I would be like, okay, yeah, shoot this, don't shoot my important guys. But we definitely do want them turned around. Okay, even on the left side, their shields are coming into play, so that's all right. That's all right. Well, yeah, interesting use from that Thanatos, but I feel it. I do understand it. Certainly not against it. And as I say, as a defender, you can't take what I'm saying too seriously when I'm judging defenders, because I can't really advise too well. Barding Herd coming on forward here, tanking a lot of fire here. AP fire is going to hurt them a lot, but again, they've got that armor. Daelian infantry coming forward alongside this Barding Herd. That's going to be quite menacing, and we might end up getting a... Well, I was going to say we'll get a break, but no, the Guardians of Condon, they're not going to break easy. Certainly will not go down easy there. As the Lothian Orcish, they're taking a bit of a beating. Snarl skirms rattling into them. Okay. And again, we don't really want to shoot the Snagger Skimmers. How's Rohan getting on? Because I think... And Gondor, of course. Trebuchet is still active. How did those crossbows go? Oh. These guys got burned. These guys got burned up by a treb. Yeah. Okay, cool. It got the job done. No. Oh, they pulled out. A few of them did get pulled out, but it did scare them away, it seems. So, because that was really something that I thought was going to be a game ender for the boys over here. Looks to be maybe a one berserker still remaining, just getting pulled apart by the ferocious Marines. As everybody is charging forward. A few Riddermark. No way did you guys win. Did you? I mean, I can't see the pikemen have been pulled out of that. Maybe they did win. They must have. Holy smokes! Well done. I'm gonna assume they won. Well done, Riddermark Axeman. Very, very well done. But yeah, so you're seeing here, right? 81 for 82. So we're back in charge a little bit, but it's getting scary now. Definitely. As a defender, I mean, I don't know. As a defender at this point, yeah, you want to be slightly ahead, but it's not. Once you get over that 50%, you're not as worried. You know, you just need it to be neck and neck. So I think both factions really want to be ahead at this point. Yeah. Barding Herd not loving that fight, which is a big surprise. Surely that's going to stabilize. This is a really good fight for you guys. Backed up by swordsmen, up against, yeah, I would really thought Barding Herd would be loving that engagement. Some Athelian Rangers coming in there, great to see them. That just high defensive skill that you're expecting from a Ranger. really good at just watching out for themselves. They're being used quite aggressively here to sort of push through. I don't know if I'd use them that way. I think we're not rushed for time now. At least I'm not seeing that need to rush anymore as an attacker. I think it's about just efficiently grinding down, which is what I feel we're doing. And I'm struggling to understand why that's not happening, or why we're seeing defeat in some areas. Be great if we could just get a little break here. Again, it's just the little victories, especially when the defenders are so elite. Just causing a little break here would be phenomenal. Just to get that shattered. Temple Executioner's coming down. Angmar and Marauders. Interesting to save such a sort of a cheap unit for so late on in the fight. Shadow Bows here, engaging with the Royal Guard. It looks like. No, they do not want that engagement. Or at least not fairly. I mean, yeah, the Royal Guard still have a good shot on them here, and yeah, I would definitely take this shot if I was Muffins. The Royal Guard, what are they going to go for? Not Royal Guard, sorry, Shadow Bows. I don't know what they'll go for. There's not really a great shot for them at all. Yeah, hard to say. Dragon Slayer's still active. One Oleg High still kicking about. Jeez, oh. I love that. Yeah, the poor dead trolls, the troll drummers. They want us to make their music. They want to share their music with the world. Barding Herd there. This is what's really surprising me. I just don't understand how this line is not absolutely dominating. That's a pretty fresh unit of Gundabad Guard coming down here, alongside a fresh unit of pikes. That's going to be heartbreaking for the attackers. Definitely. What we got over here? How is Rohan getting on? And the Treb. Pelagrim Marines. We need to fight together here, boys. We've got what, 1, 2 units, a few Axemen, and the Treb. We need to basically be doing something that's going to allow that Treb to do some good smash damage, just good splash downs to the enemy. But it's so far. Like, yeah. Temple Guard being pulled back here, maybe out of ammunition. I don't know where the Witchers are. I don't really want to go for a hunt for them. They'll probably be hiding somewhere. Over here, Gondorians having a good time. Guards of Osgiliath standing by. I'm not seeing anything more for the attackers though. I think everything for the I think apart from these Guards of Osgiliath, everything is engaged. River Patrol, you've got your javelins. One Athala Ranger, some black shots. They've got their ammunition. Royal Guard, but you've still got... No, you're out. You're out of ammo. How did they do up against the Adunaim? Inflicted a few more casualties, but no, they're still pretty healthy. Blackguard, that's going to be so tough to deal with. Naz High are going to be real menaces. I usually will always be in favour of using your elites early. I think that you can usually get some great value from them. I think it's sometimes a bad move to save your elites for too long. But I'm a little bit scared for the attackers right now. What do they have left to deal with those exceptional elites at this point? The Treb, yeah, if we can get it. The Javelins, fantastic if we could. The Black Shots, yeah. But, I don't know. Now, so this, let's say this is a full Jav unit. Dude, if we could get a... Yeah, okay, he's spotted it. He has spotted it. He's getting engaged. He was waiting. Flame Varner was hanging around for a minute. Coming up, and that's a shame. That's not what we wanted. That's just peppering the whole line right now. But it's caused the Flame Varner to do this hyper-aggressive move with his pikes. Which I just don't know if it's really gonna work out for him. Over here, another unit of River Patrol, but they're out of ammunition. They're being pulled back right now. There's 2 individual units of Athala Rangers. Yeah, in the late game, they could cycle charge in and out of the elites. If we deal with the chaff and deal with any archers that could, or ammunition that could deal with them, yeah, this could be messy still. Those barrow-wights, that's still 102 barrow-wights. Again, that's what's causing the balance of power to just be so goofy right now. Because so balance of power in Medieval 2 is, of course, it's based around the Medieval 2 vibe, which is standard kind of humans versus humans. So it doesn't really take into account that the barrow-wights have like 5 hit points, you know. So it's based around this like hit point system rather than actual like all the other stats, for instance. Nimlothian Honor Guard there, they've been fighting for a long time now, but there's still a decent number of them. There's only 7 Temple Executioners now. Okay. Let me run over to see the Rohirrim for a second. Westmark Marshals engaging the Naz High. Oh dear. Pilgrim Marines, you do have ammunition. If they could coordinate something now, the problem is if you're not in voice chat, it's so difficult to get something like this worked out. And pulling out is maybe, especially exhausted up against fresh, pulling out is going to be so tricky to pull off. No, there's 8 Troll Drummers remaining, and the Witchers. Oh, dude, if we could jav the Witchers, I'd maybe want to get the Pilgrim Marines set up there so we're ready to jav the Witchers, but if we pull the Pilgrim Marines over here, we might get witched. Arrow fire just into the Naz High. Yeah, I think Panthan's just engaged now. There's nothing he can do but just grind at this point, and it's just kind of leave it to Gondor pretty much. Trebuchet's coming forward, but this is such a tight space for such a massive piece of artillery. Especially 3 of them. Sometimes, like, this is the thing, sometimes I like to lose a piece of artillery. Because it means you can kind of be more maneuverable with it. Those Troll Drummers, of course, the Troll Drummers do not have great fighting stats. They're just little drummer boys, I'm afraid. So, up against... Ooh, let me take this. They're just little drummer boys, I'm afraid. So, oh, good jav, though, into the backs of the Naz High. That's good to see. And they pulled back from the Marshals. Okay. Yeah, firepower from the remaining crossbows coming on down. Oi. Pilgrim Marines out of ammunition now, dearie me. Just a few Troll Drummers now, just the two sort of captains of the drummers. Royal Guard coming on forward. I forgot about the Royal Guard in melee, to be honest, but... Oh, and the Dragon Slayers, I mean, there's only 14 of them, but still definitely is something. Muffins charging forward here. Full unit of River Patrol out of ammunition, though, but it will provide a little bit of manpower for his Royal Guard, and might allow them to sort of go toe-to-toe with the Marauders for a little bit. They're pulling out the javs. Oh dear, but they're standing like they've got javs. They've got their swords out. And the position that he's taken from them makes me think that Muffins is pulling back. They've got ammunition. They definitely have ammunition. Barding Herd have been pulled back. So it looks like he's leaving this situation to the Gondorians to try and mop up. Which it looks like they will probably do. Let me just zoom in for a minute. Yeah, they are sort of mopping that up, but those barrow-wights are going to take a long time to go down. Google's pulling back. It looks like maybe he's just sort of wanting to organise a little bit. Again, taking it slow. You've kind of like, this is in Gondor. Gondor is a dwarf. Gondor is a dwarf faction sometimes. You can basically, so sometimes you do just need to just slowly grind. That's the best thing for it. Okay. I like this a lot from the boys. The Witchers are still active. How many are 5 of them? We don't have... There's no archers over here. We can't fend the Witchers away. So... And it doesn't matter how many Witchers die. You've still got that full amount of Witcher ammunition. You're not going to be able to deal this massive shock. Oh god! Half my unit is just dead. You won't be able to do that in one shot. But... Yeah. It's still something. Trebuchet... Slam dunk into the Temple Guard. Hell yes, if we could do that. Changes the game a bit. Temple Guard, you can see here, they're being pushed forward there. Burning into the Trebuchet unit. As upset as Google will be, Ah, God, yeah, oh, no, the ballista crew's coming in. No, this is, this is such a shame, but there's nothing you can do now. You can't pull these guys away. And he clearly, well, he's trying to focus on saving these guys. They could have maybe caught the ballista crew, but nah. The last few marshals have done their very best, but they are not really a match for the Temple Guard. Over here, Angmar Marauders. Oh, love this little Captain the Angmar Marauder trying to 1v1 a River Patrolman. That's going to be a shame for the River Patrol. The Royal Guard should be fine, but so much of this force is just River Patrol maths. And we really need those guys to stick around. And like the same as this with the 21-man unit. We need them
battle is very much
sort of
in our
fight to the last
favour.
man.
Victory will be ours.
If nothing else, just to tire them out so that whatever Gondor's got left. And I mean, the Athala Rangers can just sort of batter in. Looks to be, so he's left those pikes to sort of deal with the last of that. Nimlothian Honor Guard, some veterans of his Gileath coming forward here, and some remaining heavily armoured Gondorian infantry. One Citadel Guard as well. Goodness sake, the Shadowbow's coming on forward. Now, hey, the Gondorians could quite efficiently just mop them up, but the front line is collapsing here. Yeah, the Dalians have done a damn good job, maybe, but the Gondorians need to show up now, which they have. And that's a Gondor general now, 2-2, but again, the remaining Gondorians are quite elite. They should be okay. Maybe this Gondorian infantry might break. We need this River Patrol pulled back, but you can see the guys are doing the right job, just pushing forward. I think that's Rohan. I think that's probably Panthan admitting defeat there. He has most. I don't think he's got anything left on the field. But it is always, if you're going to leave a fight, even if you've got nothing left, it's good to admit defeat before you go, just in case something comes back from routing. And I've had that before. Had some great fights that unfortunately somebody left the game and then their unit came back from routing and started to hide. So we had to, I think my first ever, cheaper sake, I think my first ever New Year's battle, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Somebody had some rangers that were hiding. Not his fault, but of course, as I say, he left the game and then they stopped routing. Oh dear, the River Patrol. Yeah, no, they're gone. Yeah, and that's admit defeat from Muffins. He definitely did his best there. But that's yeah, that'll be the end of it. Admit defeat there. They could have grinded this down. I think we definitely could have. Cheaper sake, we could have gotten this down to like a 98. Of course, that changes now because it drops to. It was at 96, I believe, but it drops down after that because you get all of your routed units back. Goodness sake. So let's just have a quick gander here through Panthan's boy, not Panthan, sorry, Thantos's boys. Sauron's well, holy smokes. And I'm really chuffed with the Olokai. They did really well. Shadowbows, wow, good stuff. Well, yeah, no, it was some good work from them throughout. Portugal drummers doing their thing. But no, Uruk archers even, fantastic. But yeah, so that was 20 units. I'm surprised that he didn't have a unit of orc fodder. Just because it was a 3v3, it wasn't a 3v4 or anything. But I suppose he just went for a much more elite force. Fair play to him, and of course it worked out very well. So yeah, no, I think everybody did damn well. I think all we would have needed for the attackers is just maybe some slight. I would love to know how many kills the trebuchet got, but maybe just the odd slam dunk more from the treb. And I mean, but pretty much that's. I mean, I think that's about all that could have changed. This map definitely does seem to be tough to get those arcs for your shots. You know, I think here was a great position, and the boys realised that, you know, and had their stuff coming over there. I think maybe, in a perfect world, what I would have done, I would have had Panthan with his lighter armoured Rohirrim coming down the middle and being the kind of the middle dude. I would have had Gondor with their heavily armoured resistant guys coming down the right side, you know, alone, just because he can tank the hits, and then Muffins just kind of being Muffins, being crazy over here, and do some damn good work. But that's I think Panthan being alone over here, having the lightly armored faction so far away, and so in the open, like Panthan had the most open area to charge through. I think that was a tough situation for it. I don't think Panthan overspent on cavalry, you know, and I don't think it would have changed the game, dropping a unit of dropping the red shields for something. I don't think that would have changed anything. But no, cool, very heaps of fun. I really enjoyed that one. I think that was great, and I think everybody did damn good. So thank you guys very much, and I will see you later.